Okay, good morning. Welcome to Pilates Flow. We are going to be using our cushion today, so just a cushion off your couch would work just fine. I've got a little something like this. It's kind of like a mini bolster. These are awesome, by the way, if you're ever looking for something for your studio. I got it at Half Moon Yoga. It's like a tiny little bolster, and I love it. Perfect. Anyhow, all right, let's get started into our warm-up. We're going to stand really tall. Let's plant all your toes down. Put a little micro bend in the knee. Start to just connect with your center a little bit, drawing up through the tummy. Try to keep that little connection with you. And then let's just reach the crown of the head up to the ceiling, bringing the head over the shoulders, squeezing those shoulders back. Starting to just connect with your breath a little bit. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths in and out, holding that nice posture. And we're going to come down to the feet to start today. Let's start with some alternating heel lifts. So just picking up one heel, putting it down, and just alternating between sides. My feet are about hip width apart. Just rolling through your feet. I get some snap, crackle, pops, especially this time in the morning. And let's bring both heels up so you're high up on your toes, balancing. Draw in through your abdominals, reach through your crown, and then lower the heels. And let's do that again. Up onto the toes. Both ankles are working hard. Draw in through your tummy. Squeeze your glutes a little. And then lower down. We're going to bring one leg up. So you're standing, you're balancing, you're squeezing the glute of the standing leg. Let's just circle the ankle a couple times in each direction. If you need to hold on to something, just go ahead and do that. And then let's keep the toes pointing inwards, so like pigeon toe. And you're going to extend your knee out. Take your toes and point them outwards now, external rotation, and bring the knee back in. So we go out with a pigeon toe. We turn our ankle outwards to external rotation and bend back in. One more time, pigeon toe, out, and external rotation and pull in, let that go. And let's switch sides. So start by being really strong in your standing leg, squeeze that glute. And you're going to just start by turning your ankle. And just notice all the little snap, crackle, pops in the ankle. That's normal, I hope. And let's keep the toes pointing in, pigeon toe, extend the leg, turn the toes out, bend the knee in. Pigeon toe out, external rotation back in. One more time. And back in, letting that go. Bring your feet to hip width apart. We're going to squat down, send your sit bones way back, and bring your arms and pretend you're scooping up a load of laundry. Scoop up the air, and then as you come up, bring the arms and the palms to touch, arms overhead. Scoop up the air, squat, and up, squeeze the glutes, touch the palms together. And just continue with that pattern. We don't want to collapse here. We want to keep the chest lifted, like you're pushing your arms through water here. Squeeze the glutes at the top of that range. And can you just keep your mind on your abdominals here for a few rounds, keeping them nice and close. And then one more time, scoop up the air, coming up nice and tall. Clasp your hands so your fingers are clasped together. And let's tip over to the left. Nice big side. And let's bend the right knee. Nice. And back up tall. Go to the other side. Over to the right and bend the left knee. And back to center. And let's let that go. A couple of arm circles here. Just getting ready in the shoulders. Can we bring our elbows in, glue them to your body, and roll through your shoulder blades? And the other way for 3, 2, and 1. Letting that go. Let's come to hands at heart center. We're going to be stepping out into our side lunge. Let's go right. Come over into your side lunge, send your bum right behind you. Lift your toes while you're up here. We're just holding and hanging out in this side lunge. Can you make your spine a little longer, reaching through the crown of the head? Picking up those toes, making sure your weight is distributed well in the foot. And let's come back to standing. And we're going to go back over to the right. We're holding here. 3, 2, 1. Stand tall. Back over to the right. Hold it here. 3, 2, 1. And stand tall. Really staying lifted away from the thigh here. 3, 2, 1. And stand tall. And again. 3, 2, 1. And we're back. We've got 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand tall. 3, 2, 1, and we're back. Last 2. Over you go. Send that sit bone way back behind you. 3, 2, 1, and stand tall. Last one. Hold. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7. Get a little more lifted in the hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come to stand tall. Shake that off. One leg should be nice and warm. The other one's about to get warm. Let's go over there to the left. Just set yourself up nicely. You want to have a nice long spine, lifted abdominals, reach through the crown. We're here just perfecting this position. Lift your toes. Find your abdominals and draw them up. And let's step back. And we're here for a few. Over. 3, 2, 1, and stand tall. And again. 3, 2, 1, and stand tall. Can we drop a little tension out of our shoulders? 3, 2, 1, and back. Over we go. 3, 2, 1, and back. We have 4 more. 3, 2, 1, and back. Nice balanced position here. 3, 2, 1, and back. Last 2. 3, 2, 1, and over on this last one, we're holding here. Find a perfect strong side lunge. 10, 9, let's lift a little. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand tall, shake it off. Coming to the end of your mat. Let's get nice and tall. Draw in. Think about the lowest part of your abdominals here. Pick it up a little bit with your draw in, with your belly button. Nod through the chin, and let's roll down. First forward fold today. Take your time. Rolling it down. Arms are heavy. Head is heavy. When we get to the bottom, let's just shake our head. Yes. And then shake your head. No. Releasing the back of the neck. Keep the tummy lifting here. Big breath in, bringing the head to be still. Exhale, scoop up through the belly, standing tall, stacking your spine, and roll your shoulders at the top. We're going back down there. Nod the chin, and soften through the sternum, lift through the abdominals, rounding down. Protect your lower back here by staying connected with the front side of the body. Lift the tummy. When we get down to the bottom, let's place our hands on our shins, push back, and find a halfway lift. So I've got this nice long spine now. It's like a tug of war between your tailbone and the top of your head. Let's bring the right arm to your side, bending at the elbow. We're reaching that arm up, pulling it through the air with breaststroke. Reach it up, pull it through. You're activating the underarm muscles as you pull that arm through space. And the other hand just continues to push back into your shin and you're reaching the crown of the head. Push it up, pull it down. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, keep those abdominals on. Last 1, pull it through, and let's fold. Soften into your forward fold. Just enjoy that for a moment. You can bend your knees. Take a breath in, and then exhale, ragdoll to standing. Rolling the shoulders at the top, and let's go right back down. Nod the chin, soften the chest, lift the abdominals. We're back into that fold. All the way down first, and then we find that halfway lift by pushing the hands into the shins. Find that tug of war through the spine, and we're going with the left arm. Reach the arm up, pull it back, breaststroke. Reach and pull. Can you feel that space between the ear and the shoulder getting bigger as we pull the arm down to our side? 2 more. Reach and pull. Do you still have your abdominals with you? Last one. And let's soften to our forward fold. Ragdoll up really slow. 5, 4, 3. Scoop in the belly. 2, and 1. Let your head sit right on top of your shoulders. We're squatting down. Squat, hands to the floor. We're walking out to our first plank. Now, if you need to, you're going to put your knees down and let the tops of your feet rest on the floor for this one. That's the modification. Otherwise, we're in a full plank. Let's find that perfect plank here. Reach through your heels. Reach through the crown and lift the abdominals through the center. We're going to start with some alternating shoulder taps. So just take it at your own pace. You're breathing deeply here. Making sure your glutes are on and your hips are staying a little bit lifted just to support your back. And we're just side to side tapping here. Now if you're on your knees, you're doing the exact same thing, but just keeping the knees down. Now the head is going to want to drop here. Let's just take the back of the neck and shine it up to the ceiling. Trying to minimize the side to side motion and taking all rotation out of it. Can you make this even smaller? So you're basically staying still as you tap. Just 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep reaching through the heels. Squeeze the glutes. 2 and 1. Finish in a perfect plank. Set yourself back up. Lift the abdominals. Squeeze the glutes. Energy straight through the body. And let's lower the knees and take a shell stretch. Nice work, you guys. Enjoy this stretch. Let your tailbone reach to your heels. Rest your head on the floor. And just take a nice, deep breath. All right, we're coming out to an all fours quadruped position. Hands are right under shoulders. I'm going to demonstrate this really quickly to you on just a slightly different angle so you can see me. We're going to be going into some bird dogs, but it's going to be slightly modified. So we'll come opposite arm, opposite leg. We're going to open the arm and the leg away from each other. We're going to pull them back to the center, and then we're going to place it down. Okay, so we're just adding a little modification into our bird dog. So set up nice and square. Let's start with the right arm, left leg. Reach the crown of the head. Make your spine so long here. Collect your abdominals and keep them with you. And we're reaching out. Exhale. Inhale, the hand and the leg reach away from each other. Exhale, pull them back to the midline. And inhale, we put them down. Other side, left hand, right leg. Exhale, we reach. Stay square here. Inhale, open the arm, open the leg. Exhale, pull them back in line. And inhale, place them down. Let's go back to the right arm, left leg. Exhale, reach. Inhale, open. Exhale, back to center. And here we go. And let's keep going side to side here at your own pace. Open, back together, and down. Reach. Keep the core on here so it's easy to get busy doing all these motions and to let your abdominals turn off. Is your head in line with your spine? In theory, your torso is staying the exact same shape here as we move our arms and legs around, holding like an anchor in the center. And let's do one more with each pair. Reach, open, back, and in. And last one, reach, open, back, and in. Let's come off the wrists for a moment. Just take your shell and turn the wrists. Both directions. Awesome. All right, now if you have your cushion, you're going to grab that cushion and bring it under your head, turning onto your side. Actually, just bring the cushion over. We have one move before we use the cushion. So we're going to prop up on our elbow here. Elbow should be right under shoulder. You're using the entire forearm and the palm, and you're pressing up. So just play with this motion. Sink and press. Okay, we want to be lifted. So there's a little activity happening in this underside oblique. Our knees are bent and stacked. So this upper body is going to stay nice and lifted. Keep your head in line. You can use this top hand for balance if you need it. We're coming into some clamshells here. So we're going to inhale down and exhale open and down. So this is a smaller motion than we might think. Sometimes it feels like it's kind of limited. That's really normal. We don't have a ton of external rotation at the hip joint. So we're just starting to wake up our glute med, which is the top little glute on the top of your hip here. And if you want to know if it's working, you can just put your hand right there and feel it. It's just sort of right at the top of your bum. Exhale up, inhale down. Are you still lifted in the shoulder? There's going to be a tendency to want to sink down. Let's stay lifted by pushing the elbow into the floor. We're going to add on here. Let's stay open with this clamshell. Reach the leg out long. Reach it, reach it, reach it. Bring the feet back together and then close the clamshell. So we're going to open it. Exhale. Inhale, reach the leg long. Put the feet back together and lower with control back to the other leg. And again, open, reach it out. Can we bring our belly button a little closer to us? Making sure we're not sinking into the shoulder. And open, reach, back down, and lower. Last one, coming open. We're going to hold it out here. We're going to flex and point the toes. So you're going to flex the foot, point the toe, flex, point, keep that leg up nice and high. Nice job. Now just check in with the rest of your posture. And let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet together and lower down. Now we can add the cushion under the head, coming all the way down. So the bottom knee here is going to stay bent for some surface area and some support. The bottom arm also stays down, okay? But we don't want to be curled up into our little fetal position. We want to keep this spine really long. Keep your belly button drawing inwards here. Taking the leg straight out. Take a look at your leg. We want to keep it nice and neutral, So it's not ahead of you and it's not behind you, it's somewhere in the middle. We're gonna just start with some half lifts. So we're not going your full range here. We're gonna go halfway up and down. And I like to flex my foot, like push through the sole of my foot. That's what I do, but it's up to you, whatever feels good for your ankle. So we're halfway up and we're lowering. You might touch the floor, you might not. What I want you to think about here is a connection between the glutes and your belly button. Like there's a magnet between the two, and we want to keep both of those areas working as we move our leg around in space. Halfway up and down. Keep thinking about that glute. The quad is going to want to take over. We're not going to let it. Let's stay up here and lower down now and come all the way up as high as you can and lower. Now we're in this full range, all the way up and down. Add a big long exhale as you lift and inhale as you lower. Exhale up, inhale down. And again, let's just put in a little more energy into that leg, like you're reaching your leg long, trying to reach something with the heel of your foot. And we're almost there. Full lift and lower. Full lift and lower. And on this next one, we're just going to stay halfway. We're going to kick the leg forward. Forward, shine the front of your foot in front of you, and then pull it back. So let's flex as we go forward. Point your toe as you come back. Pull it back. And reach. Now just check in. Do you have a nice anchor with your abdominals? I'm using my upper hand for a little bit of support here. There should be some serious burning starting in your glutes. And kick it forward, point and bring it back. 2 more. Kick it forward and pull back. Last one. We're almost there, you guys. Reach, pull that leg to your side so it's straight out in front of you. Point your toes, little circles for 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep reaching. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Other way and we're done. 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep reaching. 4, 3, 2, 1. And let that go. Whew. I like to let my top leg come right over my bottom leg, and then I give my bum a bit of a pound because it definitely gets fired up in there. Nice work, you guys. Before we go into the other side, we're going to do some abs. So let's just move the cushion out of the way, coming down onto your back. All right, so let's just rock through the pelvis here, moving from your neutral pelvis into your imprint and back. And just go through that little tiny massage of your lower spine a couple of times here. And making sure that it's your obliques that are doing this work and you're not just engaging the bum to move the pelvis. All right, and let's just stick around in your imprint. So close up the space between your lower back and the mat, and let's bring the legs up to tabletop. Okay, let's take the left hand and bring it to the right knee and create a tension between those two. So like you're pushing your left hand into your right knee, and your right knee isn't going to budge. Okay, now the motion's going to start like this. We're going to inhale, reach our left leg long, and then exhale, bring it in. Inhale, reach, and back. Now the farther away from the ceiling you go, the more difficult it's going to be. If you go up towards the ceiling, which is just fine, then you're going to have, it just takes some of the tension off. Okay, now let's bring this right hand behind the head, and we're going to start to add on. So the modification for this is to keep your head down. Try one with your head up, and if you don't like it, just stick around with the head down and continue with the leg. So it looks like this. We're going to inhale, reach the leg out, exhale, pull the knee in, flex the head up. The head goes down, the leg reaches. Exhale, pull that knee in. And reach. Exhale, pull. I'm continuing to push into my right knee. Reach and pull. Keeping this elbow nice and wide with my right elbow. And pushing the lower back into the mat to support your spine. Let's drop the belly button into the spine. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. Let's do about 4 more here. Check your imprint. Big exhale. Last 2. And releasing that. Before we go into the other side, we're going to leave the head down, open up the arms. We're going to do toe taps. So we're sending the thigh away from you and just alternating our toe taps, thinking about the lowest part of your abdominals, keeping that nice strong imprint. And it's slow. The leg stays the exact same shape, and all of this movement is coming from your hip, not your knee, okay? Your knee's staying exactly the same shape. I know the hip flexors are starting to get warm. Just breathe deeply. Big exhales here. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Let's hug the knees. Roll on your lower back just a little. And then let's reach the legs out and do a huge big stretch before we do the other side. Big stretch, let your ribs pop. Enjoy a bit of length. And then let's come back to do the other side. So start finding a nice strong imprint, legs come up, and then the right hand is going to go on the left knee and create tension between the two. Okay, let's bring the left hand behind the head and start with just the legs. So we're going to leave our head down for the first few. Inhale, reach your leg out. Exhale, pull it back to square. If you forget the breath, you're not going to get as much out of this because your core just doesn't have a chance to turn on. So it's an inhale out and an exhale in, and that's where you're going to find your core, deeper core muscles with the exhale. And let's add the head now. Exhale, flex up. Inhale, lower. Keep pressing that hand into the knee. Staying strong in your imprint. And dropping the belly button down. Now you could be pointing your toe, you could just have a neutral foot. I'm kind of a big fan of keeping my feet pretty neutral. I find if I point too much, my calves just take over. But you're going to do whatever feels good for your foot. Let's do about 6 more. 6. Keep pushing that lower back into the mat. 4. Big exhale. 2. 1. Letting that go, you're going to open your arms and extend the legs up. We're opening the legs and then crisscross, squeeze your inner thighs. The head stays down here. Open, crisscross the other way. Open and crisscross, squeezing the inner thighs like crazy. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. Can we bring the belly button closer and really just keep your mind on your lowest abdominals? Open and together. Let's go for 6 more. 6. Really give it a squeeze. 5, 4, 3. Control that movement. 2 and 1. Bring the knees in. Give them a hug. Roll on the lower back again. Nice job, you guys. When you're ready, you're going to find your cushion, and we're flipping to do the other side of our glutes. So, let's set it up. So cushions under your head should be comfy, but just making sure that your spine is long and not rounded. Okay, really easy, especially at this time in the morning, to want to curl back up and go to bed. All right, so using the bottom arm here stays on the floor. This top hand is kind of here for balance and support. Bottom leg is bent, and let's bring that top leg out. I am going to do the clamshells. We're just going to do them after this, okay? We're already here. Let's just do these leg lifts first. All right, so let's do that half lift. Half and lower. Start to reach more through the leg. Halfway up, exhale, inhale, lower. You don't have to touch the floor on the way down. Checking on where your leg is, making sure that it's straight out behind you and not in front of you, not behind you. Really neutral. Halfway up and down. And let's all focus on the abdominals for a little bit here. Keep them close. What do you have to do to turn this into an ab exercise? We have to bring the belly button really close. We have to pay attention to it. And we have to breathe. And let's go for 6 more halfies here. 6. Keep reaching. 5, 4, 3, 2, and on this last one, you're going to hold it and lift it all the way up and lower it down. All the way and down. Already feeling warm in that hip. Full range and down. I'm pushing through the sole of my foot and then bringing my belly button and keeping it close. Nice job, you guys. Keep it up. 4 more. 4. I know it burns. 3. 2. Make your spine longer. And 1. Bring it down. We're going to kick it forward. Come forward. Point your toes. Pull back. Swinging at the hip. Really controlling that motion. It feels good to pull that leg up in front of us. Find your hamstrings and pull back. Kicking forward. Try to keep that leg lifting. And kick. And pull. Let's do 3 more. You've got this. 3. Pull back. 2. And pull. Last one. Coming out, pointing your toe, 8 little circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my God. Let that go. Let the leg drop across and just give your bum a little bit of love. We all need one of those Theraguns after, just like really get into our glutes. I've got one of those at home, by the way, and they're pretty amazing. I've been very happy with that COVID purchase. All right, you guys, let's prop up on the elbow. These are gonna feel like no big deal now. done the leg work, the hip work. So elbow right under shoulder, use your whole forearm and your palm, and then just play with that range of motion in your shoulder, making sure you're finding that happy place. We're starting with opening the clamshell and lowering it down. Can we keep the core on as we move through that motion? And keep that elbow pushing down so that those underarm muscles are working for you. Exhale, open. Inhale, down. So the going down part is as important as the opening part. Okay? We want to have work in both directions. Can you reach your neck long and just make sure it's still in line with your spine? Nice. And if you want to check on that muscle, you just touch up at the top of your hip and make sure you feel a little activity there, a little bit of a twitch in that muscle. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3. This is awesome stuff for your SI joints if you have any issues with those at all. 2. On this last one, let's hold, extend the leg, bring the feet back together, and lower. So we open, reach the leg, put the feet back together, and down. Nice work. Try to keep any rotation out of it so the rest of your body stays exactly the same shape. Can we all push down through the floor and open up through the shoulder by lifting that bottom shoulder a little more? Awesome. And on this next one, we're just going to stay up. So let's close down, open, reach the leg, keep it out there, flex and point your toe. Keep reaching through the leg. Check on that shoulder. Everyone lift just a little. Draw in through the tummy. Lift, lift, lift. 3, 2, and 1. Let that go. Whew. All right, all the way through to your tummy. Let's take another stretch. Just put your arms above your head and just reach through your fingertips, reach through your toes. And then bring your arms out wide like cactus arms or field goal arms. You can let your legs be a little bit wide. If the toes want to turn out, you're going to let them turn out. And let's just hover our nose. So you can barely, barely feel the mat, but you're not resting on the mat, okay? Just a little hover. We're starting with just our arms. We're going to move up and down like we have wings. Take a big breath in, squeeze your glutes, lift your tummy, and then float just the arms and lower them down. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, pull the arms into the air, and lower down. Exhale up, keep those legs engaged so they're creating an anchor for you. Squeeze the arms up. The head might come up a little bit, but we want to try to keep the nose from changing its position. So your head does sort of stay down while the arms float, but it might come up just a few millimeters. Squeezing up and back down. 4 more. Squeeze up. Reach energy through the tips of your elbows like you're trying to pull the arms away from each other. Last 2. And last 1. Put your arms down. We're coming up into baby cobra. Big breath in. Exhale, push through the arms, lift the head and shoulders, and look forward. Kind of like baby sphinx in yoga. So we're hanging out up here. You're going to keep that pressure down through the arms. Reach your sternum forward. Leave the rib cage on the mat. So we haven't come up so high that we're floating the ribs. The ribs are heavy on the mat. We're just getting that nice extension through the upper back. Can we squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other just a little bit? And let's lower down. Shake it off, reset, engage the legs by pushing energy past your toes, squeeze your glutes, lift your tummy, and then push the arms down. Slide the ribs into the mat and shine your chest forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades back towards each other. We're just holding this position. And let's take one big breath here. Inhale. Exhale, hold. And lower down. Undoing all the flexion that's going to come in your day today. Big breath in one more time. Legs are on, core is on. Push the arms down and then push the ribs into the mat. Bringing the chest up, looking forward. Breathing here. Drag your arms into the floor and squeeze those shoulder blades. And let's lower down. Hands go under the head. Bring your legs so they're nice and parallel. We're going to finish up here with some leg lifts. Alternating leg lifts from the hip. Exhale up, inhale down. I like to keep my toes pointed here. But again, up to you, whatever feels good for your feet and ankles. So really take your time with this. Think of this as a hover rather than a lift. You're just hovering the leg up by squeezing the glutes. And after all that flexion we did with the hips, it's really good to finish with some extension at the hip. Reset everything back to its happy place. Awesome, you guys. Let's do about 6 more. 6, 5, take your time. 4, is your abdominals still connected? Bring that belly button up. And last one there. We're going to come up into a finish with some swim kicks. So let's bring both legs up now into your hover and start to flutter the legs. So you're just doing this tiny little swimming kick. Doesn't have to be big to be effective. You're going to do long, deep breathing here. So quick feet and long breaths. And you're anchored by your abdominals that are lifting up away from your mat. Can you drop a little tension out of the shoulders? Three more long breaths. Hold both legs, reach them up, lift them, lift them, lift them, and lower the legs and release. Nice job, you guys. When you're ready, you're going to push all the way through to shell, and we're just going to finish with a little bit of stretching. Let your thighs go wide. Take a shell stretch, rounding your spine. Let your head rest. Breathe like you're trying to inflate your lower back with air. Off to one side with the hands, taking them off to the left or the right, doesn't matter, we're going to do both. And through center, over to the other side. Nice big pull through the side body. Coming back to center, let's all come up into all fours. taking your right leg and bringing it forward underneath you. We're coming into a pigeon. This is gonna feel like $1,000,000 because we did all that hip work. It also might just feel a little intense. So if you want to, you're gonna come down onto your forearms or stay up on your hands. Most importantly, you're pulling this hip that we're working with backwards. Okay, so find your position that works for you and then try to continuously pull your right hip back. And just breathe into that tension. You wouldn't be human if you didn't have a lot of tension here. It's a very commonly tight area. Can you reach the long leg back a little? And let's take about 3 more big deep breaths there. I could do this one all day. And then gently come out of that, coming back to all fours, and bring the left one forward. One side is going to feel way more tight than the other. So find that nice stretch and then the position that works for you. Keep pulling the left hip backwards. Keep a little connection with your belly button here just to support your lower back. And then reach the long leg longer. All right, 2 more big breaths there. And coming back out of that. If you need a cushion under your knees, you're going to grab one or throw your cushion under there just to come into a low lunge and open up the front of the thigh now. So just nice and tall. As always, we want to keep stacked in our torso. And then if you want to get a little increase in your stretch, bring the weight forward just the tiniest bit. Arm can go overhead if that feels good, into a little side bend. And let's just gently tuck the back hip under you. Kind of like you're doing a pelvic tilt. Make sure your lower back doesn't have a big swoop in it. You want to make sure that that glute is on. Otherwise, you're kind of putting a lot of pressure through your lower spine. And gently come out of that, switching sides. So set up nice and tall, nice and stacked, and then very, very gently come forward an inch into the front foot. Tuck that back bum cheek up under you and into your side bend. And releasing that. Grab your cushion under your bum to finish. We'll be seated with our legs wide. If you don't have the cushion anymore, or you didn't have one to start with, then just don't worry about it. Just come into a seated position. Legs are wide. Let's just make your spine super tall here. Like you're trying to create space for your vertebra and for your little discs between your vertebra. And then nod your chin and round down very slowly, walking your hands out into a forward fold. Keep your sit bones reaching into the cushion below you. And keep your belly button connected here. Maybe you push your toes up to the ceiling, finding your hamstrings and your calves. Breathe into your lower back. See if you can soften all the tension in your body with every exhale. And then just connect with the belly button just a little bit and start to very, 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 very slowly drag your fingertips back towards your legs. Go so slow. Keep your abdominals pulling up and in. And then start to feel your spine stacking. Let your head be the last thing to stack up. When you get to the top, let's roll those shoulders. And you guys are all finished. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day, you guys. Great work, and I will see you soon. Bye.